Hello everyone, we're back with another video, and today we are going to illustrate how to find research articles. In this video we are going to begin with PubMed. PubMed is very notorious, it's very famous, and it has more than 37 million citations for biomedical literature, so it's really large. And for your research, if it's not a systematic review or meta-analysis, which we will discuss later in research types, and are not covered by our course, then you are most likely well off just with PubMed. This is going to be enough for you to find articles. However, we are also going to touch on other methods. So this video will be about PubMed. So let's say that you have a research idea about the impact of breastfeeding on the risk of developing Crohn's disease as an adult. So if someone was breastfed as an infant, does that lower the risk of developing a Crohn's disease when they become adults? So I'm going to search about that. And you don't have to write the question like, does breastfeeding lower the risk of a Crohn's disease? No, you have to use keywords. So I'm going to write breastfeeding Crohn's disease. And let's see what happens. Let's see. So from the beginning of it, title-wise, these are titles of articles, epidemiology and risk factors. It's not breastfeeding per se, but definitely if I go within the article, I might find something because they say risk factors. Here it says about the British Society of GI consensus on the management of IBD. That's not what I'm looking for. That's Crohn's disease, and so on. So as you can see, that's the use of medications during pregnancy and breastfeeding. So that's not as a risk factor. So maybe I should edit my input. So let's add risk factor. Okay, that might be better. So I can see here epidemiology and risk factors for IBD. I can see here environmental risk factors for inflammatory bowel disease. That's another one, which might include my targeted risk factor, which is breastfeeding. Another thing that you could do, which I commonly do, is view as many results as possible within one page. How this will happen, display options, and make it 200 per page. I have only 90 results. This will display all of them in one page, and I'm going to use my browser's Control F and search breastfeeding. So I have 26 findings. This is the first one. It's a systematic review and meta-analysis on the topic. That's really nice. I'm going to review it for sure. That's another one about pregnancy and breastfeeding in IBD. So this is different. They are talking about an adult woman who is pregnant or breastfeeding. Let's see, this one, that's also different. That's different. That's different. That's about a risk factor in Slovakia, so that's another study that fits my criteria. That's another one that fits my criteria, and so on. So you end up accumulating these, and just from the title you can tell if it's not related or if it's related. However, it's not enough. So let's see this study. I'm going to press on it. They give me this, as you can see, this abstract. So PubMed is an abstract database. So whenever you have a study, that's the title. These are the authors, the people who have done the study. You can see their affiliations. They are from Boston, Australia. And then you can see the abstract. Background is just another name for introduction. Sometimes they break it down in abstracts to background and aim. Sometimes it will be just background, sometimes it will be just introduction, but they are basically the same. And the methods, this is again a summary of the methods section, results, and then the conclusion. So we can see in the results that they have done their analysis on the impact of breastfeeding, and it showed a dose-dependent association with the strongest decrease in people breastfed for 12 months. So if someone was breastfed for 12 months, they have a lower risk for Crohn's disease. So that's one study that I have already found. How could I download it? Do I need to download it? Definitely you would. So here the full text links are your guide to download this article. It could take you to the journal website, or it could take you to PubMed Central, which is a platform that PubMed has and has full PDF for the articles. So from here, as you can see, PDF, I can download this. Okay, sorry. So that's how you download the article. Let's go back to our PubMed here. Let's say that I'm going to study about depression in medical students, right? Let's say that this is my topic of interest. I have 5,000 studies. Oh my God, that's a lot. and around 29 pages. And I wanted this example just to show you the different filters and options that you have accessible to you in PubMed. So first, display options. You can choose a summary, which is this one, and I suggest that you keep it. Or you can choose abstract, where they are going to show the whole abstract here. And this is insane. Like when I am displaying 200 findings per page and show me the whole abstract, this is going to get too long, and probably your computer would crash out. So I'm going to stop this from happening. Okay. So these are the other things that you could do. Just don't play with this. Again, we said you could make this 200 to effectively search using Control F. In my example, I don't think I will need to search because most findings are in line. It's a really heavily researched topic. Like the first 3 are on it. Like it's not something that hasn't been researched enough. And sorting by, like, why did they show this first? You can choose best match, which takes your keywords into account, and that's good, and that's great. Or you could search for most recent. So whenever you are doing a research, as we will illustrate even later when we are writing our introductions, you would aim at, especially when it's a heavily researched topic, you would aim at like using and talking about the most recent studies, the most recent literature, and not the old one. So if you are studying depression in medical students in Romania, for the sake of example, you don't go on and find an article in 1975 talking about this topic. There were no computers, there were no iPhones, there were no PlayStations. Like, it's a different life today. So you search for the most recent findings on the topic. Obviously, if you didn't find, then yeah, you're going to use the older findings. They are legitimate. However, if you find, it's preferred that you use the most recent. So I can sort by most recent. However, when you sort by most recent, you kind of sacrifice the sensitivity of your findings. So best match will show you the ones that really match your keywords. Most recent is less sensitive. It will show you things that are recent, but sometimes they are unrelated to your search, so you have to dig deep. So as you can see here, variations in the association between adverse childhood experiences and depression by age at first occurrence of adverse childhood experiences. So this is very unrelated to my topic. This is also unrelated. So you can see like 2 are already unrelated. You have to move down and like maybe to find the first one that's related, like maybe way down. So what's the best approach when I'm looking for a best match that is recent? Keep the sort by best match, and here you can filter your results by year. You are not interested in depression in 1987. There were 13 studies. I'm not interested. I want the past 5 years. And best match. So now you get the results. So that's a study in Saudi Arabia, that's in Malaysia, that's in China. You got your results. You have too many studies, right? So that's how we used these here. What else can I use? Here you can differentiate by article type, by publication date, which is kind of similar to this. I don't recommend using any of these filters. Like it doesn't help. And also the additional filters. Just keep it simple using these, okay? And yeah, that was it for today. In the next video, we are going to learn about other platforms, but again, keep in mind, don't complicate it, really. If your research is not systematic review, you are not required, and actually you do not need to use platforms other than PubMed and ChatGPT, which I'm going to illustrate in a different video. So thank you so much, and wish you the best.